Insurance that's not worth paying for. You want to protect your assets and your loved ones, of course, but Early Show financial advisor Ray Martin is here this morning to tell us what we don't need and what we do need. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Maggie.
Let's start with the type of insurance that we should buy. You say there are 4 simple rules.
Sure. You only cover risks that you can't afford to absorb financially. The little stuff, don't cover it. Don't overinsure. Buy the right kind and the right amount of insurance, and don't buy insurance for limited things. Cancel coverage you no longer need, okay? And last is keep emotions out of it. Never buy insurance for emotional reasons at all. Bad decision.
So we'll put those 4 rules on the website along with everything else that we're going to talk about. Number 1, travel insurance. 30% of travelers get this, but you say don't bother?
Well, it's gone up. About 10% of folks bought it, and then after 9/11 and Katrina, and then the volcanic ash cloud that stranded folks in Europe for about a week. This covers trip cancellation costs, loss of personal effects, and medical costs. If you deal with
sounds good.
It does, but if you deal with a reputable travel company, they might have a refund policy, buy the trip on your credit card, or group programs have cancellation waivers for just $30 or $40 as opposed to $200 to $400 for this trip cancellation insurance, so you can get it cheaper. Personal effects can be covered on your credit card, or airlines reimburse up to $3,300 for lost baggage. The medical insurance component is a really good idea, and you can buy standalone travel medical insurance instead. So look for that. You're covered other ways. That's what I'm saying. Look at other coverages you have on your homeowner's policy and credit card.
Okay. Another one is life insurance for children. I don't understand why people do that. Is it a good rule of thumb to say if no one is financially dependent on you, you do not need life insurance?
That's exactly the rule, Maggie. And buy life insurance on you because your children are financially dependent on you. But you're not financially dependent on them. In other words, they're not going to have a loss of income in your family if they passed away. This kind of coverage is bought for emotional reasons. The probability your children will pass prematurely, thankfully, is really low. It's a moneymaker for the insurance companies. Grandparents buy these policies as gifts. Instead, contribute to a 529 education savings account instead of buying one of these life insurance policies.
That is a great alternative because that is something that they will be very beneficial.
Keep the emotions out of it.
Love 529s. You introduced me to those.
Great.
Let's talk about wedding insurance. Is that worthwhile?
This is a kind of insurance that was popular.
What is it? What does it cover?
It was popular in the UK, and it was kind of imported over here like the Beatles, and then people started looking at buying it. This is insurance that can cover the cost of a wedding, like no-show photographers, photos that don't turn out, damage to facilities because of weather, stolen wedding gifts. There's even a kind of wedding insurance that can pay the cost of a wedding if the bride or groom gets cold feet. And if you think you want to buy wedding insurance for that reason,
maybe you shouldn't be getting
married. Get married in the first place, right?
You.
And this can cost 2 to 4% of the cost of a wedding for several $100s. I mean, come on.
Okay. That one's kind of a no-brainer.
Don't buy it.
Pet health insurance, though. A lot of people think, this is my loved one. My pet is my family. Of course I want insurance.
Yeah, and the humanizing of pets and being an important part of the family, I get it. It's a big idea. I've got a fond place in my heart for animals, but an open checkbook isn't attached to that, okay? This kind of insurance is offered for the medical, it's like health insurance for your pet, for the medical conditions they may have, vet bills for small issues or major issues.
So why not?
It can cost $40 to $80 a month is the cost. They're restricted policies. They may not cover pre-existing conditions. They're not going to cover older pets or genetic defects. You can get dropped from coverage. So pet insurance wasn't part of Obama's health care reform, okay?
Right.
And, instead, be a responsible pet owner here. If you're going to own a pet, reserve a little bit of money all the time while your pet's young and healthy in savings instead, okay? And then if they get sick later on, and you can make a decision. Use my savings or let nature take its course.
Right.
But pet insurance, I don't know that I'd buy it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Ray Martin, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.